All right, welcome back to American Women, episode 3. So we got Austin Parry here, and I'm Carlos Campbell, and we're gonna get straight to it. So the question of today is why women hit men and why America thinks it's funny. So what do you think? Why women hit men?
Well, a lot of women will hit men because they are very emotional, and that is a natural response to get violent. A lot of them can't really control their emotions very good, so they lash out and they take it out in the form of violence. And a lot of men obviously can't hit a woman back and really shouldn't hit a woman back. You should never hit a woman because you'll instantly go to prison. And so a lot of these women will take it out on a man just for like a little thing. If they get into an argument, or it just so happens that, they catch them texting another woman or something, that's a smack in the face. Or they might just full out, punch them right in the jaw. And the man basically has to just take it and maybe try and do like a stiff arm technique, or maybe like a little pushback or something. But if you're getting attacked by a woman, you really can't fight back unless it's like you're a very small man and you're getting attacked by, say, like 20 to 30 different big women, and you might actually die. Then yes, I would say fight back to defend yourself. If it's a life or death situation. But a man can never hit a woman back. And the reasoning for why women hit men is a lot of different reasons. It's because they get emotional. If they're in a relationship, they catch them cheating. They catch them texting another woman. Or some women are just straight up abusive for no reason at all. It could just be, they wanted flowers that day. They didn't get flowers. And so, you know what? I'm about to hit them. And, sometimes it might not be a hit to the face. It might be a hit to the shoulder. It might be a hit to the stomach. But a lot of women will get violent towards their men. And also, obviously, sometimes men will get violent towards women. But it does go both ways. And so you do hear a lot about, abuse cases. The man's abusing the woman, the man's hitting the woman. Well, it goes the opposite way also, where men will get hit by their woman, by their spouse, by their girlfriend, by their side chick, whoever it is, even just a friend, and you won't even hear about it because a lot of people think that that's not really a thing that happens, but indeed it does. And so women will hit men because they become very emotional and they lash out, they resort to violence, and so they'll just start swinging.
And I'll add my piece before we do a deep dive on why America thinks it's funny. Um, I think women hit men is I think they do it because they're immature. So
Mm,
as a young man, when you grow up or whatever, you're supposed to when you're younger, you always like fight to prove a point, but the older you get, you realize that you don't have to fight to prove a point, and fighting is dangerous. So fighting doesn't solve problems; it even makes more. So, especially with debating people, throughout all my life, with men and women, like if I'm winning a debate, they'll resort to violence to like use it as a deflection of getting to the point. So they'll be trying to fight. They're like, "Fuck you, I'm about to fight." I'm like, "Hold up, let's continue to debate because you say your side, I said my side, so I need your rebuttal or something like that." But it's just like, "Nah, we about to fight." So I think that's part of what women are doing now. They're not doing research on different topics and things, and then they get mad, and then if it's not the name calling, it's going to result the violence. And that's my take on that. But the reason why America thinks it's funny, I think is like I think America thinks it's funny to demasculate men. I think with the whole Jay-Z Solange situation in the elevator, um, Jay-Z did what he's supposed to do. You just sit there and take it. She didn't have a knife or a gun, so you just sit there and take it. And they're obviously recording in a elevator or whatever. But even if they're recording or whatever, he's in a space where he can't move or whatever. Just move to the side, defend yourself. let her hit you or whatever, and then situate it, let it see what happens after that. But they made fun of him, and then they like make him look like he's weak and stuff, when everybody knows if he would have swung and hit her or whatever, he's obviously more strong than her. But if he would have done that, then it's a lose-lose situation. So what do you think about America thinking it's funny for women to hit men?
I think a lot of American people do think it's funny when a woman hits a man, simply because the man can't really do anything back. And a lot of like women will think it's funny, like, oh, he deserved it, ha ha ha. And then also within different movies and different TV shows, they're creating this female warrior image within the American psyche, where there are these unrealistic female fighting characters, such as like Scarlett Johansson in the Marvel movies, or Keira Knightley in like the King Arthur movie, or whether or not it's some of these detective shows like NCIS or NYPD, where they have like, you know, a gorgeous, beautiful 5'10" Victoria's Secret model looking chick who's basically just choke slamming huge, buff 6'4" guys down on the concrete. And so, you know, it puts this image in the mind of the woman where, oh, yeah, I can beat up a guy, no problem. You know, we're tough women. Even though, you know, historically, it's the men who are the warriors who fight in the wars to protect the women and the children. But now it seems as though women want to be on the front lines in the military. They don't want to be just nurses anymore. They want to be carrying the rifle. And I think that's could be a good thing. I don't think that's a bad thing. I support women who want to do those types of positions. But I do think that they should be able to meet the physical requirements that the military has set out. Just because if you're in a situation where you get exploded by a grenade and then your battle buddy doesn't have the physical strength to drag you to safety behind a building, that might be detrimental. But yeah, a lot of these females do think it's funny to hit a man because they've been trained through the different media that they consume that they can beat up a man no problem. And so when they see it in real life, it triggers like a joy in their brain. And so, and then also with the UFC and a lot of different violent movies, this has also triggered, like it triggers a happiness sensor in their brain whenever they see a woman hitting a man, because that is equating them to power, to like the warrior type of character that they see a lot of these different female actors portray in movies. And so it's like a pleasure node in their brain has been tripped whenever they see a female hitting a man. And so it causes them joy and laughter. Ha 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 ha, the man's getting beat up. Yeah, get him, get him, get him. And so that's why I think a lot of these females that are American people think that it's funny whenever they see a woman hitting a man.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think it's false courage and short man syndrome in the form of woman. So to our next topic or question, and make sure y'all comment below and tell us what you think, because your input is way more important than ours. We're just starting a discussion. Why women don't want to be the bad person? Why they don't want to be the bad guy?
Women definitely want to be seen or portrayed as the good person, kind of like the person who is kind of the victim, but not really. They don't want to be seen as a victim, but at the same time, they want to be also kind of like the damsel in distress, the person who needs to be saved. But see, because it's a split personality, it's kind of like a cognitive dissonance that a lot of people have, where they want to be helped or saved, or they want to be but they also want to be in charge and they want to be independent at the same time. So it's kind of like both. So they don't want to be seen as the bad guy for sure. They want to be seen as the good guy, as the good person, I should say, because they want to be seen as nurturing, as the caregiver, as motherly, someone who's providing different needs for other individuals, and basically they don't want to be seen as the villain. They want to be seen as the hero, just like everyone. And so they, because most people they haven't turned themselves over to evil. They are still good-hearted people, and so they don't want to be seen as the villain. They want to be seen as the good person who's there to save the day and to make everyone feel good and to nurture them and to bring them food and to tell them good things that make them feel better. And so they try hard. A lot of women try hard, to be seen in a good light, and that's definitely a good thing. And so that gives me hope that the darkness hasn't settled over the land yet, and most people are still good people within America, including American women.
And I'll elaborate to what a bad person is. A person that's shady, sneaky, a girl that cheats on her man, a girl that dates her friend's ex, just like basic bad people stuff. And it's negative, but there's nothing wrong with being negative. You're a bad person and be a bad person. It's okay. But I think it's the narcissism that they want to do bad stuff, but they don't want to be the bad person. And then it's crazy how like during the hot girl summer movement and stuff, like this whole connotation of being the bad bitch or whatever. They want to be the bad bitch, but they don't want the consequences of being a bad bitch. They're gonna they're gonna be mad and be like, "Oh, I don't have any friends," or "Nobody likes me," or "I'm so depressed." That comes with being a bad bitch. You want to be the bad guy. It's a hard path. So
And then a lot of these women too, they have the mentality where, oh, I don't need no man, don't want no man, I'm independent, never gonna get married, never gonna have any kids. Well, that's fine, but you're taking on masculine traits in that aspect, because that's really how a man acts. A woman is really supposed to try to get the man, keep the man happy, have the children, and really be like a homemaker and a caregiver. And so historically, that was the female feminine role. And so they're taking on this bad girl role, which is really assuming the masculine traits. And so it's kind of reversing the roles. And so they don't like the consequences that go along with that, because that's like me saying, well, I'm going to put on a dress and heels and women are going to love that. No, women aren't going to like that. They're going to be like, oh, no, that's not my thing. I don't want that. That's kind of the same as when a woman says, oh, I'm a career woman. I provide for myself. I make my own money. I'm never going to get married. I'm never going to have any kids. I'm going to have 5 different boyfriends. And, guys are going to love it. No, guys aren't going to like that. I'm sorry. That's just not how it goes.
yeah, they want their cake and eat it too. So we could segue to the next topic. I love this show. Why women think video games are immature?
Hmm. Well, that's very interesting. Video games, I like video games. I think video games are cool. Maybe that's just the nerd inside of me, but I think that video games are similar to just reading a book. It's like an escape, and it's like a mental puzzle. And it's something that is kind of an escape from reality. It kind of like transports you to an alternate universe, get your mind off of like the daily grind and the daily hardships that you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, and kind of like just resets your brain. I think that it can become a problem just like anything. I mean, if you eat too many Cheetos, that's a problem. If you just eat them like once a month or something, that's not bad. Or even just water. I mean, water's a good thing. You need it to live. If you drink too much water, you'll desalinate your bloodstream and you will die. So it's the same thing with video games. It's all about balance. So you can't play too many video games, but I think women think it's immature though, because it's kind of something that, you know, when you're a kid, obviously you play more video games. I did anyways. I played a lot more video games when I was a child. I still game, you know, occasionally every once in a while, but not near as much as I did when I was younger. And so they kind of equate it to childhood. And then they, you know, it's one of those things too where they're like, babe, stop playing COD, give me attention. Oh, rub my feet. Oh, make me some coffee. You know, so they get mad, they get jealous when you're, you know, playing your video game, because you don't want to listen to your annoying girlfriend nag at you all the time. So you're like, you know what, I'm gonna play some Fortnite or whatever. Like, you know, why don't you just leave me alone for a while? Because it's like, you know, you already smashed earlier in the day, and then she just wants to tell you all about, you know, her and her girlfriend's gossip. It's like, I don't want to hear that. You know what, I'm gonna play some COD or something. And then she's like, why are you playing COD? Why aren't you paying attention to me? Oh my God, you don't care about me. You're so immature. And then so that's like an excuse they use. Oh, you're immature for playing video games. It's like, no, I'm a grown man, but I like to indulge in, you know, the pleasures of playing online gaming every once in a while. What's wrong with that? You know what I'm saying?
And I think it ties into the whole American women want to demasculate men when I guess they want us to be out fucking chopping logs or something like that. But video games are real chill, and then you sitting at the house, and I think they're not ignorant, they are naive to the video game culture, just like a lot of people are naive to the comic book culture. People think comic books are for
Right.
kids. People think anime is for kids. And then if
Right.
you actually like take a few seconds to do some research, comic books have a lot of adult themes and a lot of inspirational stories. And like it's very interesting, and it's just like literature, like the different stories and plots they have in different comics is real interesting. And I'm glad that it's now popular. It translates into the cinema now because of Marvel. So people get like a little glimpse, but they don't understand like the graphic novels and the gore animes and stuff. So it's the same thing with video games. They think I'm just sitting here just tapping buttons and laughing with my friends, but actually I'm on a strategic mission and I have to reach a goal just like you have to do in real life. You have to collaborate, cooperate, and um, defeat a goal. And then, like we talked about on the Austin Parry show a few episodes ago, we talked about how video games teach you like some different skills, gives you a preview of different skills. I think we was talking about like aviation and airplanes and stuff, or different survival skills. And a lot of, even like with cartoons, a lot of these cartoons and kids shows are made by grown-ups, and a lot of these actors are grown people and stuff. So it's real it's critical that interact with the younger generation and not get disconnected to where we're the old stubborn people and we're mean and stuff, and then you have the kids fun and full of life. We need to inspire them and take them to the next level. So I think women are just being naive, thinking video games are immature. And now that you notice on Twitch, now that women are part of the gaming community now, you go on Twitch, they're not playing games, they're showing their bodies off. And it's more like a strip club now on Twitch versus it's supposed to be a video game. And then another thing that's weird, that you have these guys like Ninja and these other guys that's successful gamers or whatever, and then they're getting girls left and right. So I think is American women think anything is immature if you're not making money doing it. If you're
And I
doing
think
like
also,
something, you're not making money, then it's for kids, it's immature.
right, right. That's the thing. Yeah, you could be making tons, millions of dollars as a professional gamer if you're winning all the competitions, and then before you know, you got all these ladies on you, and so they don't think it's immature anymore when you're making tons of money doing it. But that's a very good point. But another thing I want to say about gaming too is it's kind of people who are very artistically minded people and who are very creative brains. They tend to like video games a lot because it is kind of like an immersive art form. And so that's another thing too, where like say a woman, she's not a very creative person, she's not very artistically minded. She might just use it as an excuse. Oh, you're immature because you play video games. Well, no, it's basically like an interactive movie that you're experiencing, which is one of the ultimate art forms, which combines all the different art forms together. And so people like to experience a more artistic universe. And so that's why people escape into video games also. And so I think it's all about balance. You can't obviously be putting 8 hours a day into video games, especially if you're not making money doing it. If you're making money doing it, that's a different story. But yeah, I think that it's a good escape every once in a while. But yeah, sometimes, you know, your girl might call you immature or something like that, but it just depends on the girl too. Some girls like playing video games a lot themselves, but other girls don't. So it really just depends on the woman also. And that's really like a younger generational thing where the younger girls, they like video games a lot. And a lot of the older women, they think you're lame, they think you're weak if you play video games or something like that. It's kind of a weird thing.
So for the viewers below, I have a trick question. If a man is playing basketball outside with his friends, he's not pursuing it as a career. He's just playing it just to work out and have fun with his friends. It's a good workout playing basketball. Is that immature? Because kids play basketball and sports and stuff. So is a man playing a pickup game basketball every week is immature? Comment below. So we could go to the next topic. Do women really have their own standards or they're just following trends? And I'll elaborate more on that. Back in 2004 through 2006, my high school, college days, women was crazy about long hair and dreads and braids and stuff. Like girls would just go crazy. And then it transitioned to the pretty boy phase or whatever, just like the late 2000s or whatever. So we could fast forward till now to where women are finally liking manly men with beards. Because I remember back in the day, they'll see a girl see a guy with a beard and be like, oh, you look like a logger or whatever. So now you see a beard, you got it. So I think short hair and the beards are the trends now, but before it was long hair. So do you think they have their own standards, or do you think they just following trends?
I think it's both. I think certain things are timeless, and then there are trends that come and go. So, like for instance, like certain fashion trends or like hairstyle trends, like you're talking about, those can change throughout time, and then women will be like attracted to certain different things. But then like the certain things that are timeless, like for instance, it was like muscularity. Obviously, a woman's always going to want like a muscular man. They don't want some obese man, or they don't want some like super skinny, looks like they're starving themselves type of man. And then also height is always, women have always been attracted to taller men. That's just throughout, since the beginning of caveman days, since the beginning of time, basically. They don't want some, 3'5" man, they want like 6'4", or, at least like whatever, 5'10" or 6 foot or above is basically what most women will go for. And then like, distinctive jawline, and then other types of different characteristics also women will be attracted to, such as like big hands, or like nice eyebrows or whatever. But yeah, like as far as like hairstyles or beard styles or like different clothing options, or like different mannerisms, like over the decades, I think those change, but there are certain things that just kind of stay the same, that women are always attracted to, like a masculine man, a manly man. Women aren't attracted to very feminine, men who basically act like women. You know, women don't like that, or else they'd probably be, you know, lesbians or attracted to women, and that's completely fine. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm just talking about the typical straight heterosexual American woman, is typically attracted to a masculine man who's tall, strong jawline, large hands, muscular, you know, athletic build, stuff like that.
I think women, American women, don't have their own standards. I think they're going to what is trending. I don't think they have anything set up because, let's say, because I look pretty much the same throughout my 20s. Let's say if I grew my hair out, I grew braids and then wore like a tall tee and baggy clothes or whatever, which that was the era where I probably had like the most women that like me or approach me. If I wear that now, they'll look at me like, what's up with this dude? Because now it's the whole fitted clothes or whatever, and then just dressing sharp and stuff. I think they're doing it because society says do it. I think if society was like, if a guy wears a flower in his ear or whatever, that's like the new hot thing. And then let's say you have a celebrity couple and then they have the flower in the ear. I think girls would be like, I like guys with flowers in their ear or their hair and stuff like that. But I don't know. Oh yeah, I forgot tattoos. Tattoos is something that's been consistent. Tattoos
Hmm.
and height.
I think tattoos are kind of, for men, kind of make them look a little bit more masculine. It's kind of
Like a warrior.
like a warrior, you know, trying to look hard or whatever, have the tattoos. But yeah, that's kind of, some women don't like it though. Some women are turned off by it. They think it's trashy. They think that you're low class or ghetto or trashy or whatever it may be. So that's kind of up in the air to be decided upon. But I would say probably the majority of women, over 50%, probably do like tattoos, and it turns them on, and you know they get wet downstairs.
Mhm. Okay. And the last question is, what's the first date best location? What's the best location for a first date? So what do you think?
I would have to say, probably, dinner or lunch, somewhere where you can eat, talk to each other, have some drinks. I think, or either dinner or go out for drinks. Those are pretty much my two go-to dates. Unless you want to set up something elaborate, you're really trying to impress her. You can take her out on like a boat or something like that, or you can take her out, to somewhere if she's athletic and she has like a certain sport she likes to do. You can go canoeing or something like that, kayaking. That's always fun. The beach is always good because
Something active.
then then you get to see her in a bikini on the first day, and then you know what you're working with. So the beach is always a good option. But it really just depends also on how much money you want to spend. I mean, a walk around the park is not, in my opinion, a bad first date. I mean, I think that's a good first date. It just depends on all what you're trying to do and how much money you're trying to spend. But I would say, on average, best first date, either number one, take her out for dinner, or number two, take her out for drinks. You really can't go wrong with that. I mean, and then also, I mean, if you take her out for dinner, you can get drinks there too. But that's more of like, you're really trying to court a woman for like a more serious type
Oh
relationship.
yeah, we're talking about serious
Um,
relationship. What's the best first date? Would you take her out to drinks on a first date for a serious
yeah,
relationship?
yeah,
Okay.
I would do that also. But I think it implies that you're more serious about trying to court her for a serious relationship. If you take her out for some food, if you take her out to a nice restaurant, you know, you spend $100 for dinner for you and, the woman. But or you can just take her out to a bar, or you know, a a nice spot where you can just get a drink and talk. And that's always a good first date, in my opinion, also. So that's what I would recommend for a good first date. Go out for drinks or go out for dinner.
That's cool, and it's more casual. Even the dinner part is still casual, and then you're active, and then you get to talk to them and stuff. I like dates like at small little novelty restaurants and stuff. Like they got a sushi spot where they have donut sushis, or they have like little shops. There's this place, where's it called? Jimmy Hula's. They got like gourmet tacos and
Oh
stuff
yeah,
like that. And
I know
then
that place.
a date I was on, what was it like before quarantine? I took a girl out there on a date, and I remember that she liked dolphins. So right across the water was a dolphin. What's that thing called? The dolphin aquarium. So after the
Discovery
date,
Cove.
I was like, hey, let's go see dolphins. So it's like a little surprise. I like doing surprises on the first date because I'm spontaneous like that. I like to have fun, and then so, like you said, something active where we could walk and talk and interact and stuff. But I don't know what happened to the movie dates. I When I was younger, I used to love going to the movies and then going out somewhere to eat and talk and stuff. But nowadays they think movie dates are corny and stuff. And I even think they think dinner dates are corny. So I think it's always good to add something else to it, because you have the trend where ladies are using guys for free meals or whatever. And it's okay because it's like just free meals like next or whatever. But and men starting to catch on to it and stuff. But I think that would be a perfect first date. Somewhere simple to eat where you can see how she acts in public, and then somewhere where you could walk and talk and stuff. So you could just walk around. But what do you think about